I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you ended on a positive note, bro. Yeah, man, I'm happy with that, so I don't need to. So, apologies in advance. But yeah, nah, for real. So, I wanted to end on a positive note, but I can't because, with the murder of Chris Cabba, as a young black father myself, and he was a father-to-be, it would be a nuisance of me to not kind of highlight that situation and highlight a poem that kind of resonates with that situation. The true narrative of our story is stored in the historic stealth storage which we scourge through an attempt to reform our misconstrued identities. See, I grew up in social housing, where our local amenity was a grass pitch, and your reputation was dependent on what your dad did. I never had one. They say a fatherless black child is a loaded handgun, waiting to exude from the chamber of this vacuum, but my father wasn't absent by choice. The grave remembered his name, so we aimed to memorialize it in stone. It was difficult, like a line in your eyes was analyzing your wrongs, but life shifts gears unexpectedly, so what can you do but ride along? I've experienced firsthand the plight of not having a father at home. But I've also understood that most of our fathers never chose to be absent. Statistics do not always match the reality, for they never seem to account for what families have amassed in calamity. Black fathers who never made it home due to police brutality. Black fathers encumbered by stereotypes and senile similarities, negative imageries, black masculinity, propagated improperly mass media for profit, hence the self-fulfilling prophecies. See, I don't deny that some of our fathers never took responsibility, but it shouldn't be the archetype which precedes all black men. A barrier blind and impeding the black lens, because honestly, these stereotypes belong to every racial group. And just because you've encountered a few bad apples, does that mean you disregard the fruit? I was told to know somebody, dig through to the root, to understand the way the branches grew. You can't judge a tree by its fallen leaves without first understanding the soil it was planted into. But we would much rather focus on the consequences and not the causes, and employ a negative narrative to wrap around black corpses. Broken families are the ramifications of what people are currently rallying against. Systemic, implicit racialization. Defund the youth organization so the streets the youths roam, and not in an Italian sense. I was the same till I met some valiant black men who saw that I didn't have a father, so they stepped in, all from different walks of life, but they understood that I needed that help within. Black men who never made it home due to police brutality. Like George Floyd, like Chris Cabba. He had a daughter. Now I've got one too, and a son. And I don't want him to be those loaded handguns. But you see, even a gun, it's not as dangerous as the hand it places its weight on. Let's do more, let's be more, let's support each other. Thank you.
Can we have a round of applause for all of the artists on tonight? Wow. And I would just like to continue that for the man in the back who brought us all together and who put all this together. Massive respect, Lloyd.